it's a better option to save the kid, because if the kid dies, what's the point?
No, what I'm saying is...
No, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. But you have to save the kid first if he's in danger, because the stuff is going to be a little harder to deal with.
No, but for him to climb up on the roof and open up the thing, he'd have to get away from a safe distance, because they would all be crawling on him to pull him off.
Yeah, but he'd still be in a more advantageous position.
Hell, it took him a long time when he was just out in the open.
It did. That was the problem. But but they could be crawling up the ladder and he could just kick them off, kind of shit. But it's because I
don't have money for an action piece here.
It should be more tantamount to save the kid, because the kid should be in more immediate danger. However, the stuff is just hanging out watching him. But then he finally does do it. He starts pulling the kid up, and then the stuff decides, oh fuck, I should attack now. And then they stop, and I'm like, that was some bad timing. Yeah. That was some bad timing.
They run into a cop. There's a hole. Your hose is hanging out, and I think it's because she laughs again. He's like, oh, I guess you're gonna get me for indecent exposure, and then she starts laughing. I'm like, that wasn't planned.
And again,
because even the kid kind of giggles. Like,
yeah, and my whole point is, okay, it's a good line. Keep it in. Take 2.
Yeah,
just saying.
They knock the cop out after they're just like, oh, I'm hungry. Let's go have some stuff. And the cop's like, I want some stuff too.
Yeah. They're like, oh, we sprung a leak back there.
Yeah. Huh? You want some stuff?
And I do enjoy the fact that she grabs the kid, takes the kid back there, and just goes, pretend to eat it. Thanks. Like I was gonna fucking eat it, you moron.
And then they fucking karate chop the cop, drive away. Mm-hmm. Can't go to any small town. Can't go to any cops. This whole surrounding area is stuffies. The stuff controls all of this stuff.
Can't stop anywhere.
So we gotta go to a big city. But they don't go to a big city.
No.
They go to a church. A castle.
Yeah.
And they're like, I know a guy here. I kept tabs on him. He gets out to walk, and then all of a sudden, the entire militia show up.
Yeah.
And it's this, like, radical right-wing army group.
It's a militia. Basically, yeah.
And it's led by Paul Sorvino as Colonel Spears.
Because why the fuck not?
Yeah. His daughter was in this movie as an extra.
Mm.
Mina
Spears in this movie?
She's just you probably wouldn't recognize her. You wouldn't see her. She showed up to visit her dad on set one day, and Larry Cohen being Larry Cohen, hey, you want to be in this scene?
Is she Romy or Michelle? I can't remember.
Romy, we'll get there, I guess.
Wait, I don't know. Was that 90s? I don't know. I have to look that up too. I'll got it.
We might get there.
Yes, I'll look it up.
So yeah, he basically explains, I know who you are.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, that's great. I could push you off of this roof right now, and you'd land right about there.
He's got a point. 1997.
Hey!
We'll get there.
I could push you off this roof, and you'll land right there. He's like, you could do that. Like, he's not even panicked. He's just like, you could do that. You could. But then he explains basically, like, yeah, this is taking over America. Like, just plays to his paranoia. Like,
America. Remember that thing? That's why you guys exist, right?
The thing you love, it's endangering America.
That's why you guys exist, huh?
So he immediately goes, we need to stop this.
Yeah, it must die.
I think he even offhanded, like, it's a commie thing.
Oh, he did. Yeah, he absolutely threw that in there.
It's a commie thing. Yeah. Like, oh, we must destroy it.
Exactly. It's the fucking 80s. Everything was a commie thing.
This character's great.
Oh, yeah.
Colonel Spears is just great.
Genius.
Because while they're going to attack the stuff plant, he basically asks... First off, he's completely flirting with Nicole at this point.
Oh, yeah.
And then he's like, you messing with my girl? He's like, well, she can be my girl. I'm like, okay.
That's
weird.
That's fucked up, but all right.
He's basically...
I think she gets it to say in this, but that's cool.
But then, I like how he's basically like, can you PR for me?
Yeah.
I have such great ideas, but no one wants to listen to me. It's like, oh, I wonder why.
Militia. Just saying.
But then it's just like, you could sell me. If you could sell the stuff, you could sell me.
The stuff tastes good and people want it. You're a fuckwit.
Yeah.
You're harder to sell, I think.
So they attack the stuff plant by getting the guy to open the gate by driving the truck back on. I found your truck. Is there a reward?
This is like, we're just going to kill a guy.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's just like...
did they kill him, but then as soon as he dies, stuff just completely...
Hang on. So I enjoy this scene actually quite a bit. So he just goes like, hey, is there a reward? Yeah, sure. And he goes, okay. And then he opens the gate, drive in. Guy lights up a cigarette. He goes, well? And he goes, let's talk about this reward first. He goes, you'll be compensated. Pulls out a gun and shoots the guy in the head. I'm like, boy, was that his gig? When he signed up for the militia, he was just like, okay, so you're going in first. You're going to die. Because there is no reason for this motherfucker to die.
Well,
none. If you would have decided to show yourself 3 seconds earlier, this guy's alive.
I think it's even this guy that, when Jason asks you the army, he's like, we are your only army, son.
I.e. the militia.
So they're just nuts, so it's fine.
No, I get they're nuts, but if they'd showed up 3 seconds earlier, the guy's alive.
He's dying for the cause.
Well, I mean, it's a shame.
Wait, was he a militia member, or was he just a guy?
He was, I think, I would assume he was a militia member.
So you're just dying for the cause.
Yeah,
right?
well, but it's
so they gunned down the Stuffy.
It's a shame to waste such a sweet mustache.
It's true. They gunned down the Stuffy, and he's just like, just stuff popping out of him. He's like, I love the sight of blood, but this is disgusting. I'm like, that's the line right there.
Yep, that's the line of the movie.
And they just go fucking... Well, they go to shoot everyone, but everyone's just like, you know what to do, and everyone runs away.
Yep.
And he's like, yeah, that's right, you run, you commie bastards!
Yeah.
And as they're like sneaking into the thing, it's just like America's never lost a war. Oh.
What about Vietnam? We didn't lose Vietnam.
It's like we lost that war at home, Sonny.
Yeah. It's like...
Because I like that the kid's the one that... Like, sir, what about Nam? We lost that war at home, son. Because he's nuts.
Yeah.
And then they're all dead. Yeah. Everyone's dead. And he's like, this is a commie... This is a... commie trick. Yeah. See, we knew they were going to get captured, so they all killed themselves.
It's like, no, the stuff just left.
The stuff just... I think what the kid, Jason just like, no, stuff just left. Because a big pool of stuff is now just floating around.
Yeah.
And attacks Nicole and Jason in another horrible CGI scene.
Yeah. And
it's 1985. I'm not going to sit here.
But you got to remember this scene and a couple others are probably why Larry Cohen's like, I'm not giving you your fucking money.
The green screening
because this is really shitty, and
like it's more egregious. I think earlier in the film with Jason in the tanker.
That one's pretty bad.
That's pretty bad.
That is pretty bad, but I got to give it to the final scene with the stuff.
Yeah,
that one is shit. But this part makes me laugh because she and Jason jump out of a window, and this is the last thing where I'm like, there was an edit here that we didn't see, and it's kind of annoying because they jump out.
I think it was a door.
Was it?
It was a door.
Oh, you know what? It was probably like the bay door. That's why they jumped out of. So they jump out, and then it cuts immediately to
them outside.
To them outside, but not just that. Fucking Paul Sorvino is now carrying her shoes and bag.
Yep.
When did this happen?
I don't know.
And why did this happen?
He's also holding her, and she's holding a gun.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, she's holding his gun now. When did any of this happen? And I would like to know why this happened. This is the most fascinating scene that we have no idea what.
And then he's basically, I own some radio stations. We'll go down there and we'll tell the American people what's going on.
Yeah. And this is also the single worst shot of the stuff in the whole movie, where it just leaks out and it half fades into the ground.
Yeah.
It's not like it it absorbed into the ground. No, it just fades and flickers out because we just ran out of money. And I'm like, so you're just going to leave it there?
He actually does, because we're just going to leave all of this there and we're going to go to the radio station.
Well, that's not helpful, but cool.
So they touch down in the town where the radio stations are. They all get into different cabs. Mm-hmm. A fleet of cabs going down the street. They all leave the cabs with guns in tow, and the entire town's like, guns! Army! Jesus, get out of here! We're under attack!
I do like, though, that Paul Sorvino fucking pulls up and he's just like, alright, you go pay all the cabs.
Yep,
10% tip. Okay, first of all, you're a dick. 15 minimum, motherfucker. Come on. Especially with all of you. Now you're just an asshole.
Again, we're going to assume, I don't know, cab driver, I don't know,
cheap bastard.
Yeah, he's just cheap. I do like that he's like, okay, first things first. We're going to pay those cab drivers 10% tip.
Hey, it's the American dream. Alright?
And then they go to the station. Mm-hmm. They're about to go on the air. And Chocolate Chip Charlie shows up.
Hey, he's back.
And he's flabbergasted. And he's like, get out of here. And they're trying to stop him. He's like pushing them through. It's like, these are registered weapons.
Registered lethal weapons. In 3 states or something like that.
Charlie!
Hey, buddy!
And Colonel Spears shows up.
Mm-hmm.
Who is this? Well, he's going to be on the broadcast because, he's kind of famous.
He's famous. He's Chocolate Chip Charlie. People know him. They trust him.
Because Jason's like, you're Chocolate Chip Charlie. See if the kid knows who he is. He's famous.
There you go. See?
And after explaining this to him, he says, well, I will permit this colored man to speak on my radio station.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Colonel Spears.
Colonel, I liked you a minute ago.
Oh, man. All right. Well, either way.
He's an old man. I guess that's how that goes, but still fucked up.
I guess it's okay. You still let him speak, but you didn't have to do what you did.
In all fairness, at least he called him colored.
Yeah.
Could have been worse, I guess, in
Although, what am I expecting from the leader of a militia group?
This is true, and that's probably why he said it, and I'm sure somebody somewhere was like, this is why he would say it, because it's the militia, and that's just how they roll. Uber conservative.
So right before they go on air, Charlie's like, I gotta go talk to you, Nicole. Let me just move you away from everyone else, close this door.
And I'm like, hey, red flag, waving right the fuck here.
Explaining that, like, once this stuff is done with you, you leave your body. Well, how do you know that? And then he starts to shake.
He starts shaking.
And he pulls her in closer.
Mm-hmm.
And then
she's just like, and for some reason, she's just like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, bitch, haven't you been paying attention?
And then cut to probably the most iconic scene in this entire film. Mm-hmm. What most people remember this movie as.
Yes.
Of the Garrett Morris puppet.
Yeah. Which, in one scene looks great, and then the next scene looks like shit.
Yeah.
It is a cornucopia of special effects.
A stuff puppet, and it is a actual puppet.
Yes.
It's a guy with basically a hand puppet stuff, covered in stuff. As his tongue, like, flying out of the puppet.
Yes.
And then it just explodes, and Jason goes in and sees what is left of Chocolate Chip Charlie in a pool of bones and stuff.
Yes.
And then the stuff attacks everyone else.
Because that's what you do.
Gets on to Nicole. Mm-hmm. Mo grabs some wires, cuts some wires.
Cuts a big giant wire.
And they're all like wires wouldn't be this, like, bushy.
No.
And
well, actually they
full.
would.
Like,
actually,
bushy
they would.
And full like that?
Yeah, absolutely. Because there's a whole bunch of different fibers to keep the electricity in.
Yeah, but he spreaded it out.
And yeah, that's what you would do. However, no. None of this makes any fucking sense.
Hit the juice!
Hit the juice. By the way, he's dead.
Yeah.
I don't care how much insulation's in a wire. When they're cut like that, he dead.
Yeah, well,
D-E-D dead.
He shocks the stuff.
And somehow it works.
Blows it up. Sets the thing on fire. They go on the air because they can't get the clearance. It's like, we need to delay. We can't. We'll never get the clearance again. And they explain the problem to the American people. Mm-hmm. And then in a video form.
A bit of
narration.
A montage. Yeah.
And a bit of a montage in the background. It's Nicole explaining, I guess again in a separate broadcast, and then the American people believed us, and they burned all the stuff. They fucking pipe bombed, or like fire bombed, the fucking stuff huts.
Yeah. Can I say something? We've seen some fantastical shit in this movie. The American people believing it based on a single response from a fucking wingnut is not getting anyone to do anything.
No.
This is that InfoWars guy telling that, like, the fucking water's turning the frogs gay.
Yep.
Like, it's the same shit. And yet people believed it. That is the most fictional part of this movie. I would believe that a magical substance from the ground that tastes better than ice cream is controlling people's minds before I believe that anyone in the public, mass public, will believe that fucking radio broadcast. Just saying.
Cut to Mo visiting his that stuff guy again, the big stuff guy.
Yeah.
And then the big ice cream guy shows up.
Yeah.
And they were actually in cahoots the whole time.
Yeah.
And, okay, the stuff didn't work out. People died. I think Nicole's just like, even though we've lost thousands of people, we still got rid of the stuff.
Yeah.
Well, there's this new thing called Taste.
It's Taste.
It's got some stuff in it, but it's mostly dairy product.
It's made up with it's
We're testing it in a town in Illinois right now to make sure no one turns into a monster. It'll be fine.
Yeah, we're good.
So Jason shows up. Who's that? Don't worry about who that is. And then he pulls a gun. And he sets it up, and he's like, you're going to eat all this stuff.
This is the weirdest fucking... Because he also talks about... Because originally, way back when, the guy said he won't eat it because his doctor won't allow it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but isn't it supposed to be good for you?
Yeah, he knows what's up, right?
Yeah.
So he's just like, you can eat that or you can eat this, pointing the gun at him. And he's like, okay, we'll eat the stuff. And then, of course, because of the addictive nature, the minute they get a taste for it...
They just start fucking trying to kill each other for it.
They just eat all of it, and he's like, okay, we're done here.
Yeah.
And then the cops are heard.
Yeah.
Like, they're like, oh, and then Jason's like, right on.